So I'm Chef Rodelio Aglibot, also known as a food Buddha. Um, One of the biggest questions, or the most frequently asked question I get, is how did I get started? How did I become a chef? It wasn't a dream of mine as a kid to do what I do, to cook. My father immigrated to the United States through the Navy. He was a Navy cook essentially, and so my chores around the house was peel potatoes, clean the shrimp, peel the carrots. So in the kitchen, it was really second nature for me. I just was used to with a knife in my hand or cooking or boiling something. I thought it was a task or a chore. It wasn't anything that I thought I would end up doing. But my first job in high school was Kentucky Fried Chicken. And so when I was in Kentucky Fried Chicken, one of the things I used to do is I would go and buy zucchini, mushrooms, and I would throw it into the Colonel's secret herbs and spices, and I would fry it and taste it. It wasn't on the menu, but I felt like there was always a curiosity and a creative nature for me. But as any other first generation, immigrant, my parents were like, "You're going to college," and I said, "Okay." They're like, "You're going to be a doctor." I'm like, "Okay." And so I went to UCLA as pre-med, but I knew very quickly that that wasn't what I was supposed to do. While here in Chicago, I met this amazing family. I met the Crane family, and Scott Crane, who this young gentleman, rest in peace, he really touched my life. I was fortunate enough to meet him about 3 years ago. Scott was a big foodie, biggest foodie I've ever met, and he always wanted to meet me. So we finally set up that opportunity for he and I to meet. We met at a restaurant that I was working in Chicago. The thing that really touched me was I see his mom walk in the door and his mom's crying. And I'm thinking, that's my mom, right? And I'm thinking she gave me a hug and she's thank you for doing this. He's admired you, and for him to meet you and for you to do this, what is this you're talking about? He goes, you're spending time with him. And for me, I'm looking at him and thinking, where am I missing that joy of cooking that he has? And this whole time I'm thinking, this isn't for him sometimes. I'm thinking I'm getting as much out of it. Because I looked at Scott and said he would trade anything to do what I do. And how blessed am I to do what I love? And so this experience meeting the Crane and obviously Scott, a light bulb went off. All of us are around the table. I'm like, there's something here. I go, why can't we as chefs spend time and reach out to those who love food and cooking, who have disabilities and special needs, and just give ourselves, and for the same thing is for people to acknowledge the fact that we're their heroes in a lot of ways. And so we decided there's something here. And they're like, really, I think we can build a charity. We can build a foundation around this. And so thus the idea for In Chef's Hands. It's an organization that pairs notable chefs in a community with those who have special needs and disabilities who love to cook, love food, and want to experience being in a professional kitchen, meeting a professional chef. And then for the chef themselves to, give themselves and teach someone who would trade places with us in any moment.